You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode number 212.3, the Pacers Report with Mike Rich. And man, what a week for the Pacers Report.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Mike, this has to be one of the most memorable weeks for a regular season for a March in Pacers history that I can recall.
Oh, I agree 100%. I was thinking the same exact thing. It's been one of the best weeks of Pacer regular season basketball I have ever witnessed. Just some spectacular finishes all around. I mean, every night somebody else is stepping up and making some just miraculous, amazing shots. So it's just been super, super exciting.
And without Halliburton.
Yeah, without Halliburton. And I mean, heck, the other night they were down four of their starters, lost Nemhard in the second half, lost Mathern in the second half, and Toppin steps up and, comes through, and
Team that,
team is so deep.
against a team that had won 8 games in a row.
Yes, yeah. And one of the best players in the NBA. I mean, Edwards, and I think Gobert going out was kind of helpful to us that night, but Um, you hate seeing them hard, God, 2 out of the last 3 games getting, when he went out of this game, I was like, oh crap, that's just not good for us.
Okay.
But it was next man up and they stepped up, and Mathern just continues to grow, and I think he's getting better. He's still got those sticky hands, like you've said in the past, but I've seen some. He seems to be playing better on defense. He seems to be paying attention to his sticky hands a little more. But
Yeah,
when he
and
does get those sticky hands, it's like the defense just gets set up and it slows the offense down, and it's just like, come on, just pass, shoot, or drive. I mean,
but when
he
if he can break down the defense like he did the last 2 or 3 nights, it doesn't
yeah,
matter how sticky his hands are.
yeah, and he does. I mean, he
Yeah.
is he's fearless to the basket. And heck, the stat that sticks out the most tonight, I think 16 rebounds. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just fantastic. You can't ask for much more. 28 points, 16 rebounds. I mean, come on.
Yeah. He's been the thing that stands out the most from the last week or so is that Benedict Mathurin seems to have reached another level.
Yeah, I agree. He's taking advantage of the opportunity. Just his his stock value is just going to continue to rise. He continues to play like he is right now.
And it used to be Nimhard who, every time Halliburton was out, he used to play out of his mind, and now it's Mathurin. I think he he's used to not playing with Halliburton as much coming in with the second team, but he seems to have really benefited from this, with the offense kind of going through him rather than Halliburton.
Oh, absolutely. I think I think he thrives in it. I think he wants that. You can
Yes, he
tell.
definitely does.
He does not shy away from being the guy when he needs to be,
He
and he's
definitely wants
producing.
that basketball, whether it's to score or pass. He wants to be in the middle of it.
Yes, yeah. And he was in the middle of everything tonight.
Absolutely, and he played with passion and heart, and um, the kind of player you hope plays for the Pacers. And it's been
Yeah.
awfully good week for him. Miles Turner tonight was really good, and I shouldn't say tonight because this isn't a reaction. This is a Pacers report. So we're talking about everything that's been going on, not just tonight's game. And I shouldn't say tonight anyway, because most people are going to be listening to it after Friday night. But the game just ended. The Pacers beat the Nets in overtime. It's the third game in the last four that it came down to a clutch situation. This one was a little different in the fact that they were down almost the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, didn't lead in the second half at all. Didn't take their first lead after halftime until the overtime session,
Right.
and still found a way to win. As Caitlin Cooper, by the way, if you are not subscribed to her on Twitter or whatever, or I can't remember what she's on, but find her if you're a Pacers fan. She's the best team writer that I've ever seen. But she tweeted tonight that the Pacers just do not play a normal game.
No, they don't. That's, that's the best analysis
Yeah,
I've heard in a while.
they
They
keep
they
us
do not
interested, that's
play.
for sure.
Yeah, they do not play a normal game. Back to back. I mean, any back to back, but it's good to be home. And this is where the
Yeah,
schedule's benefiting the Pacers, and this is where it's not benefiting Milwaukee. I hope they get beat tonight by the Lakers. I hope we continue to gain on them. Detroit's still playing tough, and
yeah,
but this is where the schedule is to our benefit, and pick up a win tonight. I mean,
really needed
you
it.
should beat Brooklyn, but on a
Yeah,
back-to-back after an exhausting game last night and an emotional game and coming back and being able to get tied and go into overtime and then to just take it in overtime was I mean, it just shows the heart, the passion of this team. It shows the depth of this team. It's this is what we're excited about this team. We've said from the beginning of the season they're going to be streaky, and right now they're streaky again, and they're just compiling some wins, and they're compiling some really good wins. Um, you know,
some
I'm
concerns tonight, though, and in the last couple of nights, a couple of concerns in that you played from behind all night against Brooklyn.
uh,
Some real defensive concerns the other night, and
against Dallas. Yeah, they
against
gave up
Dallas
a
against the
15-point lead,
yeah.
and
So
I
it's
don't
not
know of a
without
game.
its concerns.
I don't know of a game this week that they haven't been down by double digits.
That's right.
And
I think you're right.
and I mean they were up 15, in the third quarter of against Dallas. Dallas came back, was up by 11, 12 points, and then they had to come back and fight back. And I mean, I love the fight, but I mean, that's a lot of energy that's, taken out of, just emotionally and physically. But,
Let's hope it
they've
doesn't
been
take
on
it
the,
out of them because it definitely could have an effect for a couple of games. Having to play
yeah,
from behind, having to play that hard that many times in a week. Let's hope it doesn't take its toll on them going forward.
I think the Minnesota game where, um, four of the starters got rest and we still come away with a win probably helped us tonight.
Yeah, probably.
A little bit of that extra rest. And, I think Toppin was, he had a heck of a game that night. And, he's like, I'm the Energizer Bunny. I'm ready to go again. And, but I
And
don't know how long batteries die.
that's right. Speaking of which, a real struggle tonight for Siakam. Very rarely do you see that. He was the hero, I think, on Thursday night, or one of
Yeah,
them, and
one of them.
rare off game for McConnell. He just seemed completely off. Um,
But he came up with one of the biggest steals of the
one
game.
of the biggest steals of the game, and
Yeah, and and that's that clutch, and
yep,
the defensive effort and the steal at the right time. I mean, changed the momentum, shifted the game. I mean, that and Turner's block at the end
yeah.
of the game was. I mean, I think those two plays were pretty huge in the overtime, and um, so yeah, they're going to have some down games and not get all the points, but
Yeah.
um, in the key
Well,
moments when you need them to step up, I mean, they step up, and
speaking
I
of
want
clutch,
Siakam in there I want Siakam in the game at the end of every game. I mean, if he's got 2 points for the game and he's shot 2 for 12, I still want him on the floor and I want him taking that shot. I mean, so
Yeah, speaking of clutch, how about Matherin tonight? 3 free throws with 14 seconds to go. Never
yeah,
touched the rim a single time. He looked like he
nope.
wanted to shoot those free throws.
I think Russell walked by him or something like that and tried to say something to him on that third shot, and he's just like, yeah, just shook it off, and
Well, he tried to ice him twice by having a little meeting in the lane.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Speaking of which, the fans were really into it.
yep.
It was a really
But
good night for the, I guess, really good night for the crowd, I think. And by the way, Drake has
yeah,
just
yeah.
beaten Missouri, so
Oh wow.
some more upsets. I guess that's kind
Saw
of an upset.
Clemson got beat today
That's right.
by by McNeese. Was it? Is that who beat them?
That's right. Will Wade's
Boy,
team,
Boilers didn't win by enough, but they won.
but they won. So, and the Knicks lost tonight, or shit, Thursday night, Mike. The Knicks lost. So the Pacers are now 3 games behind the number 3 seed. I'm not sure which is better, the number 3 seed or the number 4 seed. But
Yeah,
there is
uh,
that out there.
yeah. I would like to see them, continue to win, but you know, do you want Cleveland or do you want Boston?
I think I'd prefer Cleveland, but it's pretty tough. They're either one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
They are both head and shoulders above everybody
yeah,
else right now. It would take
and
a huge effort to beat either one. I think the question might
yeah,
be more: do you want Detroit or Milwaukee? And
or Milwaukee.
at this
Well,
point, I'm not sure which one I'd rather have. Although Giannis is the scariest player on the planet still.
yeah, I think Detroit could move into that 5 spot,
I think they could.
and
It sure looks like they're
so
going to.
yeah, so is it going to be Detroit or Milwaukee in the 5 spot?
Hmm.
And I think Milwaukee's a tough out as a 6 seed for anyone. So
Yeah.
it's
Like I said, they're not a great team, but they've got the scariest player on the planet, so you know they're dangerous.
and
Um,
they'll have Portis back, and
yeah.
at the right time.
There's no way I don't think Milwaukee is winning 3 rounds and getting to the finals, but they are
No,
without question dangerous for one round
yeah, I agree. I
because
think
of
they're
one man.
one man. Yep, he's. I I think it'd be a great series. I think that'd probably be the best series for the East in the first round if it was the Pacers Milwaukee.
Yeah. Also, if that were the case, it would be the Knicks and Pistons. That'd be pretty good as well. Um,
Yeah, that'd
you
be
know.
good. I can handle Pistons beating the Knicks.
One way or the other. It's the Knicks, it's the Pistons, or the Bucks. It's the Pacers rival from the '90s, the Pacers rivals
Yeah.
from the 2000s, and I think the Pacers' biggest rival now. Wouldn't you say the Bucks?
Yeah, well, maybe not after tonight. I think Saturday's game is going to be pretty intense with this Brooklyn Nets team. But no, overall, I think Pacers Bucks is going to be a rival for a couple more years, and um, and always I think just history with the Knicks but
And the Pistons.
and the Pistons. Yep, yep. So it's going to be. I think it's going to be an exciting finish to this season. So, um, we're in a good spot and we're where we should be. This is where we thought in the beginning of the season that the Pacers should have been, and they're fighting and they're playing well. They're healthy. Halliburton's getting rest and they're still winning. Um, you know, that's all really positive signs pointing in the right direction. And, um, you know, I think we got a good opportunity to make another good run. I think the Pacers are just really under the radar. I don't think anybody gives them much of a chance to make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Um, but as a fan and somebody that follows them, I mean, I hope to prove all those doubters wrong, and I really hope that um, the Pacers can push to get in the Eastern Conference Finals and give it a shot. Why not?
It's next game Saturday against the Nets. You better win that one. And then it's Monday
Yeah.
against the Timberwolves. That'll be an interesting one. The Timberwolves probably will not be happy that they lost to that team. And then the Lakers at home, a Lakers team that looks like a championship contender. Then they are at Washington on Thursday. That better not be the same time that the Boilermakers play, Mike. Same with Saturday. The Boilermakers better be Friday, Sunday, because Pacers at Thunder on Saturday, the 29th, and then the Kings at home to close out the month of March. So not an easy schedule, not a hard
No.
schedule. Should be if they play well, they should be able to make a run. I'm a little concerned with some things that I see, but do have a chance to turn this into some momentum.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have some real tests in that run to the end of March, and that Oklahoma game definitely stands out. And Minnesota coming off that loss, I think they're going to want to come out with a different intensity, and they're going to want to do everything they can to beat the Pacers. But you have a defensive night like you've had the last couple nights against Minnesota or Oklahoma or LA. I mean, you're going to be in a
Yeah.
really, really tough situation. I think LeBron will probably be back for the Pacer game on Wednesdays.
Mike, thanks so much for doing this at a late hour on a busy weekend for you. I do want to say one thing before we go, and that is I can't tell you how much I have loved the Thomas Bryant experience. He has become one of my favorite Pacers right now. I just love everything he does for the team. He's such a professional. Um, he's had such a positive effect on this team.
100%. Just the enthusiasm. I mean, he wants to be here. He likes being here. He the role he plays with this team is perfect fit for him. And I think that's one of the things I think the Pacers do really well at the coaching staff and Rick Carlisle. He's found the right chemistry, the right rotations, the
Yeah,
right time to play certain players, and everyone that gets on the floor produces, and
incredible.
that's just a testament to the coaching that they have. And you're seeing our bench players. There's a couple of them that are going to be there's going to be a lot of interest for trades, and people are going to be coming after them. I mean, you know, um,
The win in Minnesota, Mike. There were literally a couple of guys I'd barely even heard of.
Bradley
Yeah,
had
and
a heck of a
Jackson,
game.
and they don't win that game without either one of them.
Without either one of them, Quentin Jackson.
Yeah,
Shout out to the Mad Ants.
that's right.
And that's the other thing. I mean, they're G League. I mean, they're really using the players from the G League, and and that's
They seem to be
not
well
only what we
prepared.
have. I mean, they truly have a system for next man up, and to pull people out of the G League to come up and play and produce the way they do and um, the, you know fit into what Carlisle's trying to do with the team offensively and defensively, and it's just super impressive. I think Carlisle's done a really good job since the 10 and 15 start, and since then I think things have gone much better. He's found the right rotations. He's putting players where they need to be to produce, and we're seeing the fruits of that labor.
Thanks so much once again to my guy Mike Rich for coming on and spending some time talking to the Central Indiana sports listeners. And thank you for being the other part of that, being the listener. Please help us continue to grow and thrive by sharing these episodes with your friends and family. We appreciate it in advance. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. I love Susie.